couple minutes. What we're going to do here is just do a quick sound check.
You are listening to 1019 WDET, Detroit's NPR station, broadcasting from Midtown Detroit. My name is Sam Bobian, and for the next hour, we have something very special for you, a live musical performance presented by the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation. That's right, live music, something that's been very difficult to achieve because of the pandemic, but thanks to the Detroit Jazz Festival, we will experience some live jazz tonight. So this is part of their virtual series called Live from the Cellar. And with me right now to discuss this performance is the president and artistic director at the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation, as well as a renowned musician and educator, Chris Collins. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Sam. Thanks for having me today.
So the band is not here in the WDET studios. Your team is over at what you're calling the Cellar. So what can you tell our listeners about this performance space?
Well, we started this a number of months ago. We do a monthly performance on the third Friday of each month, and it's always live. And so far, they've all been simulcast, thanks to you guys, on WDET 101.9 FM. And we're featuring a variety of artists, regional artists and national artists. And it allows us to, provide some live jazz, some real moment stuff where cats can tune in for free, so that we want everyone to take advantage of the opportunity to hear some great live jazz with some wonderful programming for everyone to enjoy, not only during this time of the pandemic, but, as we move forward, we've created this wonderful sound stage and wonderful environment in the Cellar. And it's great sound, it's great video, and we're gonna keep it alive for a long time.
So what can you tell us about the band that's performing tonight?
This is a special month for Jazz from the Cellar. This month and next month, we're going to do two programs where we feature some of the really bright up-and-coming jazz artists in our Detroit community. So this week, the band is run by a wonderful drummer with a great family connectivity to this music. His name is Tariq Gardner, and some people might know him as the son of Marion Hayden, the great Detroit bassist. So you can imagine the life that he has grown up with, and at the same time, he has embraced, of course, all of the music of his life and his generation, and to sculpt his music into something that's very personal, but that pays great homage to the traditions of jazz. It should be a very interesting, lively, and youthful performance.
Well, I'm really excited to hear some live jazz tonight here on WDET. So let's get to it. Chris, thanks for speaking with me.
Thank you, Sam.
So coming up in a few moments here, Tariq Gardner's Evening Star.
Welcome to the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation's Jazz from the Cellar. Led by powerhouse drummer and band leader Tariq Gardner, tonight's episode features an ensemble of leading young lions from the Detroit jazz scene. Tariq Gardner's Evening Star. This episode of Jazz from the Cellar is brought to you by MGM Grand Detroit and your generous donations. For more information on the Jazz from the Cellar series or any of the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation's activities, including the 2021 Detroit Jazz Festival, please check out DetroitJazzFest.org. Now, let's get to the music.
Thanks to everybody who's watching out here. Thank y'all so much. This is Tariq Gardner's Evening Star. I'll fill you in on the first two songs that we had just played. The first composition was by a Cuban composer by the name of Axel Tosca, and it's called Fulani in Love. The past song that we had just played is an original composition by myself entitled Showing Off. And next up, we'd like to bring up a guest of ours. His name is Coleman Ward, fantastic vocalist, and he's going to regale us with a little bit of song and lyric.
key. Feel so free. Well, now and then I lose my way, trying to use words to say what I feel. Oh, so real. Might as well write my name on the card that says much better. What took me? I've done just about all that I can do. I want to be living for the love of you. Well, all that I'm giving is for the love of you. All that I'm living is for the love of you. Oh yeah, all that I'm giving is for the love of you. All right, oh, I'm living for the love of you. Well, and all that I'm giving is for the love of you. Oh, all that I'm living is for the love of you. And all that I'm giving is for the love of you. I wanna live, I wanna live for you, baby. Oh yeah, I wanna live for you each and every day. I wanna live for you. Oh yes I am. One more time now. I wanna live. Listen to me. Through droughts and famine, natural disasters, my baby has been around for me. Kingdom is fallen, has always been around for me. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need. Every time I get up in your arms, I feel it. Oh, who would have thought I'd get you? Oh, who would have thought I'd get you? Oh,
All right, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, happening. Beautiful textures, beautiful ideas, creative. Piano working for you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It sounds good. It's got a nice, you're getting a sound out of it, man. That's very cool. I hope you're giving it up for these cats, man. They're playing some beautiful and creative music for you this evening, and we're going to take just a little break from the music so you can check out this important message from the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation. I think you'll dig it, and when we come back, we're going to have a little time to talk with the cats and then a little bit more music. So check this out. Hi, I'm Chris Collins, President and Artistic Director for the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation. And I'm here on the set of our latest online program, Jazz from the Cellar, which will feature live jazz performances and artist interviews twice monthly, as soon as it is safe to do so. We're looking forward to our exciting year-round programming that supports new and legacy artists, jazz education in our schools, and the proliferation of jazz in our communities and around the world. Your donations will support the 2021 initiatives, including the new Jazz Infusion education program in the Detroit Public Schools and Community District, the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation's All-Star International Exchange Programs, which occurs in Japan, Panama, Europe, and our latest Havana Detroit Jazz Project, part of our Latino Jazz Outreach Program in cooperation with the Havana Jazz Festival. You also will support the J.C. Hurd Jazz Week at Wayne, the Youth Jazz Vocal Competition, the Collegiate Combo Competition, our Artist in Residence program, jam sessions and local jazz club programs, the 2021 preview event, events at the future Gretchen Valet Jazz Center, our Jazz from the Cellar series, and of course, our signature event, the largest free jazz festival in the world, September 3rd through 6th, 2021. You can access information on all of these events and live stream content of many on our app, Detroit Jazz Fest Live. You can get it at the App Store or on Google Play or at our website, DetroitJazzFest.org. Together, we can keep jazz free and alive in our community and across the globe for generations to come. On behalf of all the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation team and all of the artists who make the music happen, thank you. And please be safe, healthy, and filled with joy. Here we are, Tariq Gardner, and the name of the ensemble?
Oh, the Evening Star.
The Evening Star, yeah. It sounds like kind of like a cruise ship, but I think, past that is cool.
Yes. Hey, you gotta relax. Who you go to relax with, you know what I mean?
It's an Evening Star. It does speak to that, doesn't it, right? It's about, is that the impetus behind the name of the band? The kind of a chill sort of vibe?
Well, the impetus for me is really I just wanted to be like a collective with a lot of very close friends of mine. I found
which couldn't get them, so you got these guys, which is fine too.
Basically how it went, Yeah, but that's it's just really one of the meanings of the name Tariq is Evening Star, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, yeah. And there we are, just Evening Star just kind of came to me, and just wanted to make like a vehicle to really bring some great live music to everybody in my generation and throughout the world, the whole diaspora.
Yeah, I mean, cats, 2020 was not the year for live music, was it?
Huh.
It wasn't.
I mean, you know, we all experienced, we all tried to do some things, and we all played live, right? But I would love to hear your input on a little bit on how you dealt with 2020 as musicians to keep your craft up. Did you have any special projects or sort of like new goals that maybe you had more time to pursue? Any of you guys?
I remember I took the time to learn through like an entire album I liked. Not in entirety, but just like maybe enough where I could play the general song and then play certain parts that I wanted to transcribe, but like enough where I could kind of like sit down and play through. It was Sunlight by Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bass players, Paul Jackson, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But yeah, I don't know that I probably wouldn't have like done that if I didn't have like a lot of time. So that was nice.
Herbie's coming to the 2021 Detroit Jazz Festival on opening night on Friday, September 3rd. So be there or be square.
I just plugged it. Look at that.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, man, it's going to be a heavy, fun thing. How about you? What have you been doing to kind of keep it? Because, you know, no matter what you do, not playing with cats means that when you do play with cats, as every musician knows, it takes a minute, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Right. But what kind of things did you do through 2020 to kind of keep the juices flowing?
Well, for the most part, I tried not to force it, being that the pandemic kind of confined everybody in some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tried not to, you know, let it take a toll on me, you know, playing wise and things of that sort. But just keeping that same work ethic pre-pandemic, you know, kind of thing. But
that's the way to do it, right? I mean, for a musician, you've got to get to that point where there's so much momentum that nothing gets in its way.
Right.
Two things come to mind. I remember, you know, I have a good friend of mine, a piano player, and, you know, he committed to learn an entire concerto by heart, a classical concerto, right? Just because his chops, because you can't work on a lot of interaction, right? And you know, I'm always reminded of a quote Pat Metheny said once, where he was talking about, you know, he's trying to explain to some media folks actually that you cats have to understand that the real musicians, even if there was zero market for what we do, we'd be in the basement probably of our mom's house doing it anyway, right? It's got to keep rolling. Yeah. And you know, you make a great point. Whenever I encountered a student or you know, someone from my generation that felt like this thing was closing down around them, I said, man, just get into the practice room, come up with something that maybe you never had a chance to, right? Like Jeff, like, you know, work on your flute chops, work on your oboe chops, man, right? Find something, terracotta chops, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff, what did you do except grow some hair?
Yeah. I picked up the recorder.
Okay.
Well, one thing about the pandemic is it gave me a lot of time to really check out the records that I really wanted to, like fully. Like Soothsayer by Wayne Shorter, I got a chance to check out, like, and just listen to it.
That takes a minute, doesn't it?
Yes. So it just, you know, helped me outside of the aspect of playing, just like in general, gave me a new way to generate new ideas and to go, you know, into different places I wouldn't normally go into as a working musician, because I have a lot more time to hone in on everything outside of live performances.
Dig that, right? And that's kind of a gift. I mean, my joke at the beginning was, man, most musicians don't even know there's a pandemic going on about 6 months in, because we're all just, it's cool, man. We're downstairs working on our stuff, man. Shit, you know, I mean, how often do you get that gift where the world says it's okay to disappear in woodshed, man? That's a heck of a thing. You know, as a vocalist, it's a unique challenge, man, because not to have someone to interact with, you certainly can work on your technique and things. And I hear some influences, so I know you're listening to certain cats. And but as a vocalist, what kind of things did you do, man?
So it wasn't as calming for me the first time around as it was for everyone else. That first, you know, lockdown depression hit very hard. You know, because you know, you have the whole summer, you know, lined up all the, you know, bookings and everything, and then it'd be weird, be better if it all just canceled all at once, but it was, email after email after so, it just kept hitting. It brought me to a dark place for a minute.
Sure thing. Salt on the wound.
Exactly, and twisting the knife and all that. So, got a couple jobs, was able to work, throughout the pandemic, doing sanitation, stuff like that. And one thing I was able to do that I hadn't really done before, trying to pull myself out, was, start working on some of my own music. So sorry to hawk my crap over your...
composing your own music.
Yeah, a couple singles out now. Cool. Released one in August and the other 2 months ago, I want to say. Wow. But yeah, so... Yeah, that's something I hadn't done before. And that, I guess, gave me some inspiration to do, gave me some time to actually, work with my gear and get something done.
Did it help pull you out of the initial depression?
Oh, definitely, because not only, the depression from the pandemic, but my own, things about my musicianship that like, I'm not gonna put this out, it's not good enough. All that stuff. So, getting those, even those couple singles out to the world, like really helped my own self-confidence, my own self-esteem.
Very cool, and and you got instant Christmas gifts, right?
Right.
You clearly have been working on your style, man. So,
right.
I would say though, whether it's a musician or someone in computer programming or a plumber, it's a testament to when the difference when you have a purpose, even if it's a self-generated purpose. Versus not a purpose. And I think all of us fell in. Dee Dee Bridgewater, our artist in residence this year, we had her at our April 7th preview event, and which people can see on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Detroit Jazz Fest YouTube channel. And she talked about this issue that she went into deep depression, and she couldn't do anything. She couldn't sing. She didn't want to do any music, and she's in New Orleans. There was stuff going on, but she didn't want to do it. And but I think for all of us there was sort of a removal of our purpose all of a sudden. And you had to self-generate a purpose.
Exactly. And so I'm extroverted, so I need to I need this right.
That stimulation.
It wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we're going to wrap up because I want to save some time for a last tune. But the other big issue of 2020 was all of the political, all of the racial, all of the cultural clashing, and sometimes beautiful weaving together too. Right. I don't want to make it all pessimistic. That happened throughout that year. There was so much energy around it that maybe wouldn't have been around it if there hadn't been that space, right? And that energy led to some really, first of all, really interesting conversations at the dinner table, I hope by just about everyone. It led to some clashes, it led to some probably, I would imagine, some beautiful moments between people when they maybe found out for the first time there was a connection that they didn't know was there.
Yes, sir.
But we talked about that at the Detroit Jazz Festival in 2020 on the broadcast, right? We got into it. And the one thing I had suggested, because you were in the heat of it, we were all in the heat of it, and you were out there, man. You were out there making your voice known. And the one thing I was talking to you about is, the thing is, you're not just a guy with a voice, right? You're an artist. You're a musician. You can turn. You remember the Justice piece we did, right? Yes. You can turn your perception, your perspective, your evaluation of these cultural things into a work of art. And the reason why I love that, and I'm curious if you did any of that, because art has it's a moving target for each individual when they experience it. So it's not like you telling me I'm wrong and you're right, or I'm right and you're wrong, right? It's you're making this statement, and people can kind of experience it for what it is. Absolutely. And you can generate really, really powerful emotions that can make a change. So did you take on any of that as a drummer, as a band leader, as a composer, as an artist in any way? Did you find a way to express that?
Certainly through my compositions. certainly through what's been influencing me, you know, a lot of marching drum, a lot of listening to marching drums, and then just in terms of like the music that I listen to, you know, it hasn't changed, but a lot of the focus has gone to like more on the radical side, political side, like Fela Kuti, Femi Kuti, you know, and then also on the other side of that, coalescing, you know, we have, you know, things that approach us to all come together, like when you talk about Isley Brothers living for the love, or when you talk about an artist like Bilal, you know, just it goes more into just the way I'm generating my set in a lot of ways, because I want people to hear my set and hear the music that we're making, and it can help them melt their worries away.
Look at that, man. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And sometimes you can add a narrative to it if it's in the old days. It was always on the liner notes. Do you guys do vinyl at all? A little bit.
Sometimes.
Man, just the smell of it. I remember going to the old record stores, and then you'd pull it, and they had like that great picture, like Blue Train, John Coltrane.
Yes,
You could see his lips and his sweat, and then you turn it over, and the whole thing was covered with the story of the session or something. Man, that's like, you know, you can add that to your artwork and create like this messaging, you know. And in this day and age, in what we're going through, and what particularly was highlighted in the past year, there's a lot of messages. There's a lot of things that need to be told, and a lot of perspectives that need to be heard. And you're right. It's two sides of a coin. It's not just anger, rebellion. It's the other side of that coin too. Yeah, and that can be beautiful.
Coming back to our own interconnectedness as humans, you know. We all come from the same place, and we're all going back to it. Yeah. So why can't we get along from here? You know.
Yeah. Randy Weston, we had him in town for a couple things before he passed. God rest his soul. And he's such a beautiful cat. He's such a giving cat. Jeff, were you on any of those gigs with Randy? You remember the music he sent? It was tough, man. But you probably remember I said in the band, because some guys were complaining about the handwritten stuff. It was old. I said, look, our job is to make music out of what's put in front of us. And the band didn't it?
Absolutely.
Even Randy came in and said, you cats, you know. But the thing that Randy said, because somebody asked him in a rehearsal, and I love when these questions are asked because it shows some honesty and some comfort. And it was asked, you know, about the racial divide in our community, in our country, in the music, oftentimes. And Randy looked, he had a big smile. He was a big dude, man. A big smile, big deep man. He smiled. He said, look, man, we all came from Africa. We did, right? Because that's like the oldest, that's where it all came. So you're right. We came from, and we're going to a place spiritually. We actually all emanated from one physical location on the planet, man. And when he said that, I thought, what a beautiful way to think of our connectivity as opposed to our separation. Man, it was something else. So, and just last moment, maybe a year or more so ago, maybe it was Brian McCullum, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody did this story on what's going on in the Marvin Gaye records, the anniversary, and one of the things we got into that was not initially part of the conversation was, man, you know, that record, when you look at who's on it, you see musicians from all different walks. You see classical musicians who were in the DSO at the time, Resnick and those cats. You see guys like Jack Brokenshaw, you know, from the jazz thing, and the thing, the genius of Marvin Gaye is incredible talent, but that whole sound of that record was because, man, the composers got to do what composers do, and the classical cats got to do what classical cats do, and the jazz guys did what jazz guys, and Marvin Gaye did his thing, and that, not only the message of the tune, but how it was assembled was, man, about community.
Sure was.
The message, the levels of messaging is unbelievable, and that's what we were talking about, right? We can bring that as artists, and it's the gift we can give. And I always like to encourage cats to remember that, because we can get dark, you know, working on all this, but in fact, you can be a really powerful messenger of some just and righteous stuff, man.
Certainly can break down these walls, you know.
Yeah.
Things tend to get very polarized in this day and age, you know.
They do.
But you know, if we
didn't like Jeff for years. It took us years to get there.
You stole my candy bars.
Well, listen, we have about 4 or 5 minutes left, One more tune from you guys?
Yeah.
Why don't you go to the bandstand, and I'm going to take this moment to thank MGM Grand Detroit, who is the sponsor of Jazz from the Cellar. We can't thank you enough. As you all know, it is the corporate sponsors and the incredible donors like all of you out there that bring us the opportunity to present these programs and the largest free jazz festival in the world and all of our education initiatives throughout the year. I also want to throw out a very special thanks to Digital Planet, who is responsible for much of the tech that is happening here, and they donated so many wonderful things to make Jazz in the Cellar happen. And because of the success of that, we're going to continue it into the future for a long time to come. I want to thank our video tech, the great Mr. Gary Sandrowski, who's killing it in the background, and all the people that make this happen. So thank you. We're going to go back to the bandstand, and we're going to hear one more tune by Tariq Gardner, Tariq Gardner's Evening Star. So let's check it out. Take it away, cats.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody. Everybody watching. We're going to end with a song by the great Fendi Kuti, son of Fela Kuti. This is Afrobeat music that comes from Nigeria, Africa.
Right thing, and we'll all be happy. Oh, do the right thing, and we'll all be happy. Oh, do the right thing, do it, we'll all be happy. Why won't you do the right thing, and we'll all be happy. Do the right thing, and we'll all be happy. Oh, do the right thing, and we'll all be happy. Do the right thing, do the right thing, and we'll all be happy. Oh, do the right thing, and we'll we'll all be happy. Do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing, and we'll all be happy. Oh, do the right thing, do it, and we'll be happy. Do the right thing, 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 do, we'll be happy. I want you to do the right thing, do the right thing, we'll be happy. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you once again for listening to the Evening Star. We have Mr. Leroy Mickens on the piano over here. We have Mr. Jeffrey Trent here on the sax. We have Mr. Caelin Amin on the bass. My name is Coleman Ward. I was your vocalist for this evening. And give it up for our fearless leader, Mr. Tariq Gardner, on the drums.
Yeah, Cats, thank you, man. Thanks for joining us here on Jazz in the Cellar. Beautiful. I can shake your hand now, can't I? I don't know if that's cool. I don't know if that's cool, but
we can stand right here.
Yeah, we just did it, right? We're closer than 6 feet. Ain't too bad. Ain't too bad. Yeah.
We're unsocially distant.
Beautiful, man. Cats, bravo. And I want to thank all of you for checking it out today. We're going to post this very quickly on YouTube Live and on our Facebook Live so we can get it out to everybody. We want to thank WDET 101.9 FM for being our partners in simulcasting this wonderful event. Thank you, Cats. And we look forward to next month's Jazz from the Cellar, which is going to be featuring another bunch of young lions coming up in our community, featuring Emma Abu Kazem, our 2014 winner of the youth vocal competition. And now she's got a career that just won't quit. So you want to catch her the third Friday of the month in June. We'll see you then. Have a safe, healthy, happy, and jazzy day until we see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.